I will. Whoa. It's very dark.
Try and find something cool and exciting.
You know what I need? I need one of those influencer rings that shows how bright you are.
One, and you didn't like it.
I'm live. What are you telling me for?
No. Okay,
I haven't
bye.
seen an influencer ring. Like one of those little rings. Hello out there on Facebook land. It's Uncle Steelo. It's Thursday, the 9th of February 2023. If you're wondering why I'm talking like this, it's because I've had my mental health check and I'm not allowed to raise my voice or show any sort of emotion at all, just in case the government come and take my firearms and shut my business down. Yes, exactly. G'day, Mick. How are you? If you're at home watching, guys, tune in. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a love sign. Let me know that you're there. It has been a massive week in the firearms world, in the firearms industry in Western Australia. Once again, we've had some political stunts driven by our government over here, who have done their best to once again kick the guts out of the 89,000 firearms owners in Western Australia. Once again, we saw this last year with the launch of the massive fear campaign that was firearms related. Targeting bikies, gun owners are bad, putting our addresses on the maps of the West Australian last year, and it's all part of that sort of targeted, overzealous media show circus that is a media release. It's crazy. So we're going to talk a little bit tonight about Steelo's view of the world from Steelo's Guns and Outdoors. No one else. I have been on the radio with some other things. Obviously, those in WA know that I moonlight in various other areas as well in the firearms community. This tonight is just Steelo's live from Steelo, the voice of Steelo, the mindset of Steelo. It's not a very big mind. Hey, Timmy, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Mick, Graham, Ricky, how are you, boys? G'day, Heights. Timmy, hey, interestingly, I sort of... we're on the radio again this week, mate. The Labor government, I don't know whether you're following what's going on in firearms world, but we've just had a bit of a kick in the guts, much the same way as demersal fishing bans, and they seem to be doing with the fishing industry in WA. So fishing industry, massive industry. I've spoken about it before. Massive demersal ban. I was talking to someone from Busselton, one of our clients from Busselton today. G'day, mate, if you're listening out there. And he was saying there's boats in the dock that would normally go out, but because of the demersal ban, they're not. And he said, it's just terrible that the marina's full of boats just not doing anything. They're just sitting there rotting because taking a boat that you've bought to go fishing for a pleasure cruise just doesn't cut it. Brocky, g'day. Tan and Errol, how are you? The headache is going good, but it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We haven't stopped. Does everyone want to talk about what's going on? Are we not? Hey, Timmy, yeah, there you are. Mike, g'day, mate. He's got the popcorn ready. Yeah, so it does seem like the current government is hell-bent on destroying industries and lots of mistruths out there. So for those that missed it, if you want to follow the Sporting Shooters Western Australian Facebook page, jump into that. Not now because you're watching me, but after this, jump onto SSAA WA website page, Facebook page. There's some links there. There's been some TV done by the president there. There's been some, we're not allowed to say it upsets us, Doug. That's why I was starting the show nice and softly and, good. There's been some media releases. There's been a radio interview that's definitely worth watching or listening to, on 6PR radio. The president got on there. I jumped on there a little bit later. It's not in the media grab, but had a little bit of a jump in. And I think there's a link from the WAFTA, the WA Firearms Traders Association guys, to jump in there. Plenty of people are asking, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do to help? The best thing you can do to help it, if you feel this way, I'm not saying you don't, but if you do feel like I do, because it's my show at the moment, like and share this stuff. Not just the commentary tonight, but the commentary as it's shared by the industry representatives that you trust. There's a lot of people out there firing different things, but the guys that you trust, share it out there on social media to your friends. Get your friends to share it. The more that's driven up from within, power from the people, the more that's driven up, the more likelihood we've got of hopefully getting someone to listen and just liaise, strategise, work out a better way forward. So what was proposed, for those that didn't know, was a mandatory mental health check on firearms owners, right? Sounds good in theory. who wouldn't want mental health as a as a first and foremost, staple of society? We should have good mental health everywhere. The problem is in the lead up, it's very simplistic. So the minister didn't speak to anyone in the industry at all. He just launched this. I don't even think he's spoken to the health minister or anyone in health at how we're going to implement it. So to give you an idea, he threw out there that 20 people were shot. No, Jack, they didn't. There was no consultation on this, mate. Nothing at all. It hit everyone blindsided. Apparently, and I'm not going to speak for them, but apparently even the people that handle that didn't even know that it was coming. So, yeah, that's right. Well, it's not, because the police get the final say. Jason, that was already discussed. So if the doctor says you're mentally suitable and the police say you're not. So anyway, I'll rewind, because I don't want to lose track. There's a lot rattling around in my head. It's been going all week. We've been on it since Sunday, probably 12 hours a day. I haven't seen the missus or the kids much this week, which is good for them. Not so good for me, but and we've been just burning steam, drinking coffee. As you can tell, I'm amped up because of coffee, or it could be mentally unfit. I don't know. Who knows? So some of the figures. So there's 89,000 firearms owners in WA. Mr. Papali, the police minister, launched his campaign with two domestic violence victims, one's a domestic violence advocate, one's a victim, from 2014. So, from 1994. Some very bad things happened to her in 94 at the hands of a firearms owner. G'day, Greg, Jace, Tina, Zane. How are you, buddy? Under the illusion that 20 people were shot with firearms, so we've got to have this mental health check because, that's my angry eyebrow, by the way. We've got to have this mental health check because 20 people were shot this year, half of which had mental health problems. Yeah, cool, no worries. Look, half had mental health problems. Does that mean they were suicidal? And if they were suicidal, would it change if they had this mental health tag? So there's a whole lot of questions that are getting thrown up, and I don't think they've been answered correctly. I don't think they've been approached correctly. So, nah, I'm good. I was parked up, Felix. The ABC one I was talking about, I was parked up. I got some pollen in my eye. But so there's a whole lot of questions. Would the circumstances change with these mental health episodes? I've been to a lot of suicides in my time. I'll mention that later. I've been to a lot of suicides in my time. I have been to shootings. I've been to gassings, death by drug overdose. I've been to hangings. I've been to car crashes, like the whole works and jerks, right? So from somebody from a practical background with no psychology degree at all, but I've been to all these things and seen them firsthand, I can't see this saving those people. The people that were going to suicide with a gun, they were going to suicide without. They would have got another stream to end their misery and suffering, because that's the state they get into. So it's really almost annoying that this is thrown as going to be the saving grace. Is it going to save domestic violence victims? No, it's not. So out of the half, hey Linda, how are you, mate? Thanks, Felix, for throwing that link up, mate. Craig, g'day, mate. So out of the half, maybe domestic violence, they need to talk about the other shootings and the other incidents around them. So law enforced induced shootings. So there was a couple of them that I picked up just quickly out of the paper last year. So out of the 20 shootings, two law enforcement initiated, not having to go at the boys. That's what happens. Bad people do bad things and need to be put down by good people doing good things. So this is deep, Linda. This is massively deep. This is why I haven't seen you for lunch or a coffee this week. So that's 2 out of the 20. The rest, they haven't extrapolated out on what the shootings were. So the theory and how it's been portrayed is that you can be sitting at home as a law-abiding citizen, paying your taxes, going to work, doing the right things, raising a family, and then just one of the 89,000 gun owners, the devils out there, will come and just assassinate in your home, which is far from the truth. And I don't think, if you look at the extract out, which we don't have the data, unfortunately, at the moment, but if you extract it out, these people aren't those people. The quite commonly, the people that are getting gunshot wounds, I've had 15 years of dealing with it. I'm not laughing at the scenario, I'm laughing at the comments. A rum debrief later, absolutely. The people that are mysteriously shot have criminal links. They belong to criminal families in a criminal network doing criminal activities, and they're often shot by a criminal. It's not very often, or it's extremely rare, and I defy anybody to give me the stats on it, on how rare it is, that somebody that's innocent innocently going about their business is shot by a licensed firearms owner. It would have to happen somewhere in there. Like I'm not saying that 89,000 of us out there, law-abiding firearms owners, there's not a devil in one of us. There would have to be. Murphy's Law says there is, but not at the rate that government tries to perpetuate that we are. So, coincidentally, 20 shooting deaths last year. So let's say half of those are suicide related. 389 suicides in 2021 alone. 389. So we're gonna instigate a system of mental health checks, and again, it's not stated how this is happening, which is causing a lot of angst out there in my sort of world, my sort of field. We've got people coming in. We've got people coming in that are literally worried, going, "Oh look, I saw this on the TV. I need a mental health check. I don't know whether that's going to affect my medication now. I don't know whether my workplace is going to be affected, because if I have a mental health check and I'm not fit to have a gun, then does that mean that I can't go to work to be trusted with heavy machinery, operating other things, poisons, operating firearms at work, maybe if it's a workplace sort of thing." So road accident deaths, I'm glad you brought that up. So while we're talking, 389 suicides, right? So probably 10 of those, 11 of those maybe firearm related. So, but we're going to flip everything. So road accidents. Road toll for the same period. So I didn't do 2022 because I didn't have the stats for 2022. But 166 in the same time. So for 2021, which I do have the stats for, 166 for the road toll. So, suicide is a big issue and it needs talking about. And I kind of think what we should be doing, this is the world according to Steelo now, not anyone else that I represent, talk to during the week. We need to be asking the government what they're doing for suicide. Guns aren't it. Guns aren't the, we're not the devil out there in the big wide world. If we were, I wouldn't be doing it. For those that don't know me, I'm obviously a father, a devoted partner. Can't say husband because I'm not married. My ghetto bride. So a devoted father, husband, ghetto bride. I'm a member of community here in the Great Southern. I'm a former copper. I've seen a lot of shit. I wouldn't be doing this if guns were bad. I'm not an idiot. I'm not selling things that are bad for people. The industry themselves, we also have an inherent role to play in this, and we also steer people, the bad people that are away from this sort of stuff. So we obviously get people with mental health conditions that come through the shops, probably shouldn't have certain things, and we make sure they don't access them. A lot of the responsible guys do, we don't give them knives, we don't give them archery gear. They can go and they get that shit on eBay all day long. eBay, send it to them. But, the industry, the bricks and mortar industry here, we are responsible for our industry. We are responsible to the communities that we serve, and we don't do that shit. So it annoys me when we need another catalyst of control, another catalyst of government control that we don't need, because the issues of law-abiding gun owners doing things are very, very minute. They'll roll back to, the government rolls back to and throws away. We don't want to see what happened in Queensland, where obviously 2 law enforcement officers were shot dead by some fanatical people. Yeah, there's a whole lot of issues out of that that are not suppressed, but they're not getting out there. So, were the guys licensed? Were the firearms that they were using, were they licensed in any state or territory? Were they completely off the grid, unlicensed, untrackable, untraceable? If they were, having any of these checks will not help people. So, again, like a lot of the shootings that we see, they're committed by people that wouldn't flag, and the ones we do see are committed by people that wouldn't flag anyway, because they know how to beat the system. So the system's going to be two ways now. The system either has to be mental health professionals that you go and see and have an appointment to. We already know the how. No, they weren't. They were licensed in New South Wales, Linda. The rest weren't, and not licensed for the guns that they used in the offence. Unless you can tell me what they were, 100%, I'm happy to hear it, because no one knows at the moment. That's another one. Baba Yaga. Exactly. I've lost my train of thought now. Completely lost. I got all excited because I thought someone would know what the firearm was that was used in the assassination of the coppers, because it wasn't a bolt action rifle. One was their firearm, their sidearm was used. That's been reported, but nothing around that. I was going back to licensed firearms used for killings. highly unlikely. Or the guys are psychopaths. I mean, even the guys in Queensland go through a government system. They were teachers and law-abiding people on the way. So it's interesting. National Firearms Registry is getting talked about, Linda, which is what you're mentioning there. It would if they were licensed, but if they have an unlicensed illegal gun, they'll still go from state to state without declaring them. So again, a lot of this stuff sounds good on theory, and for people that aren't in the back end, and I'm not saying you're not, but people that aren't in the back end that realise how it works, it's kind of like damning chemists because there's drug use in the community, if you get my drift. That's what's happening to my industry. So it's like cracking down on hospitals and doctors because there's methamphetamine out in the community, and that methamphetamine come in via boat through an open border. So much the same with the gun world. Unfortunately, very narrow-mindedly, they think that 90% of all the guns taken from law-abiding firearms owners, or that we're corrupt and we're giving them to people. A lot of the guns that do get used don't come from us. They come through open borders. We've got one of the most porous borders in the world. It wasn't that long ago, an Indonesian fishing boat sailed into Geraldton, 2 blokes at the bar picked them up and called customs. So what I'm saying is there's lots of ways for guns to get trafficked in and out of the country. Bad people know how to do it because an unlicensed good firearm has a high commodity price, just like drug trafficking does. So what I'm saying is we need to break this down and have a look at away we go and how we get it. Anyone can make drugs or bang poison from a basic kitchen gear. Yeah, anyone can make a firearm from basic workshop gear as well. So it's a very basic sort of issue. The drugs have to have a baseline product to get them to cut, and a lot of that does come illegally. Yeah, absolutely, Zane. Or a mental health check to drive a car. So again, I've been to a lot of suicides. I've been to handfuls of ones where people have driven in road trains. I've had a mate that had a transport company, had 3 people suicide within a space of 6 months, got out of his transport company. So by nature, if you're going to attack 89 firearms owners to have mental health checks because you're worried about the 10 that have committed suicide, you should worry about the, I don't even have the statistics of how many people drive cars in WA, but you should have to have a mental health check for driving a car because you can suicide in a car as well. And for the safety of everybody else on the road, you should have to have a mental health check. We'd have no one driving. That's the problem, eh? Especially if they did it after road rage, peak hour on the freeway. Jesus, don't get me in an interview after a freeway drive. It's crazy. Yeah, that's right. It is 0 point in damning a chemist, mate, much the same as 0 point in damning us. We're not the ones breaking the law. And there's laws for breaking the law. Let's not forget that. So if you're doing an illegal act with a firearm, there's laws that govern it. Charge those people with it, and that's what it is. You can't have multiple layers of regulation over legislation that already exists there. It's pointless. If someone's going to break the law, they're going to break it whether they've had a mental health check or not. It doesn't make it any less likely. There might be pre-attack indicators, and I would suggest, my suggestion, Steelo from Steelo's, my suggestion would be because there's never been a way to have people in the industry or everyone else make sure that there's a way to report some of the behaviours, some of the pre-attack indicators. Just like mass killings in the USA, everyone wants to damn the gun companies and damn the people behind the firearms. No one wants to do a research into pre-attack indicators, so you can identify these things before they happen. So again, no one has, and we've had here, like, do I ring up licensing, the registry? Do I ring up the local coppers? He doesn't belong to me. And it goes into the ether because the regulator hasn't committed a resource to managing this as an issue, if it is an issue, you know. Coincidentally, because, you know, I like doing a bit of reading. Get out my reading glasses, like doing a little bit of reading. And someone's laughing in the background. I read stuff. Anyway, you know, it's... where did I write it? Because I want to reference the document properly. Come on. Where is it? Geez, I've written a lot, eh? I've had to start writing stuff down so I don't lose track of this. Like I said, if you're a fan of any of this sort of stuff, or you're not even a fan, it's a conversation that needs to be had, eh? So share it amongst your friends. Hashtag whatever. Jump in it. Oh man, where did it go? There is an actual mental health plan. Somebody out there knows mental health, and they'll be stick books don't count. Do you even get stick books now, mate? They're showing your age, eh? Half the people watching this, mate, don't even know what a stick book is. You know that, don't you? I love it. Oh man, I hate when I bog down on this. There is a suicide plan. It goes from 2021 to 2025. Where did it go? Oh, the West Australian Suicide Prevention Framework. There's no mention of this in the peak document from the peak body. There's no mention of any of this, yet it's come left of centre. Yeah, there's no draft of legislation at the moment, Jack Lancer, so it's not in play yet. There's no... Yeah, it seems like there's been no community or practitioner consultation, just a media release on a quiet news day. Yeah, Government Tactics 101. The problem is that it just elevates everybody out there. So we're already a bit anxious about what's going on. I typed it. Look at that. My writing is worse than a doctor, but I typed it. Now it's all confusing. The problem is that it's going to do one or two things. So it's either going to be involving medical practitioners. We've got a failing medical system that's already bogged down with seeing everyone, especially in regional areas where, I might add, we are 40 times more likely to commit suicide in a regional area down here in the Wheat Belt and Great Southern. Where's that statistic? And then 50% higher than the state average in the Midwest. So the Wheat Belt and the Goldfields, 40% higher than state average, and 50% higher in the Midwest. So again, I mean, I commend Mr. Papalia for bringing up mental health because it is a fucking big problem, hey? Don't kid yourself. This is a massive issue. I don't think throwing shooters under the bus is the solution to any of it, right? The government needs to commit some funding to it. The government needs to be serious about it. And attacking 89,000 licensed gun owners is not the way. Like 100% increase over the state average. I thought it was 50. I'll have to read it again. It's a lot more than normal anyway. So you either go down two lines, right? So it's either mental practitioner or it's going to be watered down to such a point that it doesn't exist. So it'll be, and again, we don't know what this is. I'm surmising because I haven't seen it because no one in the industry has been consulted. I severely doubt and I severely question that the medical profession has been consulted. I don't think they have. Otherwise, there'd be some sort of plan and you'd know, right? You know, the gold standard of transparency out of this government is a little bit laughable. Sorry, I got to pause. Thanks for keep writing your comments, guys. Just keep them going because I'll go back through this. This is absolutely awesome. And thanks for the interaction because it is really good. There's a whole lot of stuff rambling through my head every now and then. It stops me because I've got to go, oh, hang on, that's a fucking good point that they've raised. So don't share this Papalia Miguel. I'll have a hit squad down here tomorrow. I'll have to go and live somewhere else. I'll be mobile. What happened to Steelo? I don't know. He's ghosting the joint. But the deception is the Spanish Inquisition, Luke. The perception is that it's all bad. We're all bad. And gun owners are the blame, right? Medical practitioners either goes to a medical practitioner, GP gets watered down to GP level, there's not enough of them, Querceting Shire is offering $1 million to get one, there's none around, or it's watered down to a point where it's going to be a tick and flick on an email sort of system. Kel, how are you? Welcome, brother. G'day, Wes. It's going to be a tick and flick system, and it's going to be pointless. A tick and flick system on the computer is pointless. So the whole intent then is watered down to an idea where the whole media fan show was just a shit show, and it means nothing, which is not what it is. So even down to the point where it hasn't been thought out. What happens if I fail a mental health test today? What happens for my firearms? Do you send the police from tasking that are tasking doing, domestics and keeping the world safe and patrolling and going to house burglaries and trying to, right young fellas that are on the wrong path back? Or do we then come back and leave all that stuff to go and seize Steelo's stuff because he didn't fail his mental health check? And then how long before I get it back? Do I go and get one the next day? Do I have to go and do a series of counselling over the next 12 months? Who holds those firearms while that happens? Is it held by a police station? Is it held at a third-person receptacle? What's the common sense approach, or where are we going to put all this stuff when it happens? Because it'll happen, like if it spikes, I talk to and I serve with a lot of mates that are ex-ADF, a lot of ex-coppers, a lot of nurses, a lot of St John's ambulance guys that have seen a lot of trauma. We're actually a little bit worried that we're not going to pass any of these tests because we don't know what the test is, what's the standard, It's a little bit wary, and that creates a lot of undue pressure. So you can be depressed because of the things you've gone through. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to top yourself, yeah? So this is a problem. On top of that, it really smacks us in the face with the act, belong, commit sort of pathway that we go down. I was on the Wallace the other day trying to get the message across. Blokes especially, ladies have got it a little bit, not better, but you do this a lot better. Blokes don't talk about their feelings a lot. One of the cool things that we do is do shit, right? So we're all too fat and old to play footy, me especially. and I'm talking generically to a lot of the boys out there, but we're too fat and old to play footy. We can't drink at the pubs anymore because of 0.05. I can't drive back. Guy, g'day, mate. G'day, Carl. How are you? So one of the cool things we do is shoot guns. So we'll go to a mate's place. We'll go to a gun range. We'll hook up with a buddy and we'll have a bit of a shoot. We'll destroy some inanimate objects that are useless and worthless, like clay targets or spinny targets or balloons or paper or whatever. Destroy it. Okay, this is good. We'll get a little bit of anger out and aggression on something that's inanimate and good. We tick a box and away we go. And you can talk to your blokes, your boys, girls. You can talk to people at range. They're similar sort of mindsets. You know what? I've had a fucking shit week at work. This is happening. The boss is an arsehole. And offload that way. It's a very good way to do it. We have plenty of people that do it in our industry. 89,000 of you out there that are licensed firearms owners get into it. So, once again, it's a good way to act, belong, commit, and be part of a group. Yeah. Oh, look, it's up there, hey? How many of the 85,000 have been paid and trained to kill? Because the minister has. And unfortunately, it probably slants his viewpoint somewhat on this issue. He's thinking that firearms are weapons and weapons that kill people. That's what they do with them. He was in the military. That's what they do with them. And we, the civilian population, see them as very different things. They're a tool of trade for farmers. They're a point of recreation for farmers. Because, you can't just go down to the beach and have a swim and offload. You've got to do something. So, put a tool of recreation for farmers, townsfolk, the like. It's very, very cool. A sporting implement, something you have to work hard at, like chess, to get long-range shots out or pistol shots. So, they definitely do a lot of things other than kill. Yeah, that's right. I say that all the time, Zane. We don't say I'm depressed. We say I didn't sleep well this week. I had a shit week at work. Fuck me, mate. I really need to go shooting. Exactly. So no, Richard, we haven't been invited to give a comment on the subject officially. So we've been involved, myself in a capacity that I'm not speaking for at the moment, but we have been involved in other things in the lead up to this, and none of this was mentioned. So, and I don't think after what's being said around, I'd be surprised if we're invited back. He doesn't like us very much. I get that feeling because we want to, and it's not that we're aggressive or nasty. Just like let's break it down and call it what it is. Because there's a massive part of community, a massive part of industry that's going to miss out because of some of the left of centre thinking that's not full picture. Yeah, Carl, I know. Hey, good luck with it, and good luck in there, man. And I hope you guys go well in there. But yeah, hold the line. Mental health is an issue. The government does need to look at it at a time when the government's getting bled for everything. We've still got the major. I saw our friends in Fitzroy Crossing up there. The sewage is pumping in the Fitzroy River at the moment. It was supposed to be fixed a couple of weeks ago, and it still hasn't. So we still don't have a major road going to the north of the state to access the Kimberleys, or a lot of our goods actually come through the Northern Territory route down the Kimberleys and back into WA. And it's fucking fanciful that we don't have that up at the moment. We've got coppers leaving in droves. This is all well. This is not me making shit up. This is well documented in the news. We've got coppers leaving in droves. The highest number of police are leaving the police at the moment that in history, right? So they're leaving the agency, massively not happy with life in the coppers. We've got massive crime issues. If you have a look at, again, I'm not making this shit up. This is reported by the news and people that I talk to, because I talk to people. Yeah, who would have thought? Through the Kimberleys, through the Pilbara, through the Upper Gascoyne area, we've got massive issues with rural youth crime, right? It's going off its tits at the moment out there, to the point where people and businesses are leaving town in droves. It's not good enough. It's terrible that's happening, and now we've got this happening up there, as in like, oh, we're going to get mental health for people, and here's my shooting victim from 1994 saying that guns are bad and you're all going to die. It's a fucking joke. We've got. Yeah, I do. Hey, Rod, how are you, man? I talk to people occasionally. I talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles, mate. We've got nurses that are leaving in droves and not putting up in the medical industry, which is a worry. We've got communities that can't get doctors out there. We've got so much lack of government services. Teachers are hard to find as well at the moment. This is the start of a new school year, and teachers are hard to get hold of. Shit, I'm in Narrogin. We're 2 hours from Perth, 2 hours from a regional centre, or we are a regional centre. We're 2 hours from the city. We struggle to get teachers, doctors, police down here. This is ridiculous. So the state government's got a lot of problems that probably need fixing as a priority over this one. I think this again pales into insignificance. Timber industry in Mandamup shut down. Demersal fishing ban on the coast, so everyone that's on the coast can't go fishing for a couple of months of the year, which is the best time to go, through non-consultation as well. So it's not just the police minister doing it, it's the whole Labor government, and it's crazy, absolutely crazy that's happening, just shutting industries down. They don't like live export, they don't like agriculture. I haven't seen them do, man, where's the boys in ag? They're yeah, that's right. Where's the boys in ag? So they're making statements, but none of it's really good. They're saying they agree overall with it, but they're struggling around it because they're told, but it's agriculture and you guys have got the high suicide rates. Well, they do, but this is what it should be about. So jump up and down. If you're in ag, jump onto the boys in Farmers Fed, the PGA, and you're watching this. Jump onto the boys at WA Farmers and say, hey, we don't think mental health checks are really going to be that good because of the reasons that Steelo's just said, or anyone else. There's other guys in social media world that are getting out there, that are saying very, very much the same things. I'm obviously not the guru on it. There's other people that are saying the same. So share that stuff. Keep it going around. Talk to your representatives out there. If you're in an ag area, jump on there. Jump on, your local member of parliament. Jump onto him. Say, hey, look, this is ridiculous. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think they've thought about this thoroughly. And say, I think we need more money for mental health out there. If it's that big an issue. Away we go. So yeah, that's my thoughts on basically. I didn't want to drag you around too much and beat you up too much, but that's basically the thoughts on it. Mental health, it is a massive stigma. Gun guys aren't going to want to go and admit it if they think they're going to lose their guns, if they think they're going to lose their jobs over it. So where's the what's the word I'm looking for? As an employer, if my employee says, oh, look, I just went and had a mental health check and I've lost my guns now, do I have to watch him with dangerous chemicals in the workplace? If that person relies on firearms in their job, and I'm going to say it, police, corrections services officers, security guys, if they rely on their firearms for their day-to-day work, what happens when they lose that recreational thing? Do they get a stand down for a period of time? Like, how does that work? I don't. There's a whole lot of complexities. Yes, everyone wants to have good mental health, and it sounds good from the onset, but underneath, it's not going to stop criminals from doing bad things to bad people. It's definitely not going to do that. We already have laws in place that are supposed to stop that, right? And they walk through that, so it's not going to do that. Is it going to save everyone's mental health? Hell no. Coincidentally, Gun Control Australia, who are the anti-gun guys, so I'm the pro-gun guy, saying nearly everyone should have a firearm, and they're not that bad. So they also say that this is fucking terrible because people will be less likely to seek help. So along the way, in between your mental health check, at whatever time period it's going to be, if it's going to be every year or 2 years or 3 years, no one's told us yet, so we don't know. We're surmising, but at some time, if you go and seek help because of it, that could flag and you could lose your guns also. So again, it's a fucking massive issue. So that's exactly it, Brett. Like, I'm not saying that my mates in blue need a mental health certificate, but it's going to be a massive issue. For the culpability, like again, coming from a police background, you have to deal with the coroner. So worst case scenario, you go out on the weekend, or you've had a run of bad luck happens, and you're depressed and suicidal. Personally, I haven't been there. I know plenty of people have. The thought, I'm like, fucking hell, here we go. You get that mental health test, you fail it, right? So the police sees your guns, which is going to put you in a fucking worse line than you were before. But you've got to then go to work, tell the boss that you've failed your mental health test. If he lets you carry a gun, in any one of the scenarios of people that carry guns, I'm not singling out police, it's police, corrections officers, security, I'm going to say DPOR because I can't remember their name today, Department of Parks and Wildlife and Biodiversity and Attractions, DPIRD, contract shooters, all that sort of stuff. So if they do that, then they go to work and they top themselves at work, where's the culpability for the employer? Then does he then get dragged through the coals because the coroner's going to run the investigation? The coroner's going to fucking crucify him. That's what's going to happen. On top of the medical professional, did he sign him off or didn't he sign him off? So there's some big fucking ticket items. I remembered vividly failing a medical for a speedway certification. Used to race cars in my youth for a little bit. When I could afford it. So I failed a medical, or the doctor wouldn't give me a medical. So you rocked up, and the prejudice from the medical system then was that I'm not going to do it for your racing cars because that's dangerous. Safest fucking sport out there, other than shooting, obviously. And that's the prejudice. So, again, if we're going to medical professionals for this, what prejudices are we going to get? So, it's pretty shit, eh? It's a big ticket item. But anyway, this is going to go round and round, and there's going to be some more stuff on social media with it, so follow me, obviously, on the page on this one, but jump on to SSAA, give them a like. Jump on the WA Firearms Traders, give them a like. If you're seeing the stuff and you agree with it, jump on there and share it with your friends, because it's important that we keep having a voice on this. People keep going, why isn't the media involved? Well, because the media want to look for stories and grabs. And if it dies off and it's not a story behind it, then they'll just push it under the carpet and they'll go on to the next thing. So it's important that you keep this going, because this affects a larger sort of spectrum of people that were out there, including every other resident in WA. You know, like, I'm not saying that the rest of everyone in WA shouldn't have a say about it. They should, absolutely, but see it for what it is, and see the trickery behind the magic. You know, see it for what it is. But again, even your non-gun friends, have the conversation with them. Like, it sounds good, and I'm the first to say, everyone should have good mental health. We should have healthy communities. That's why we have a public health system. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but I don't think that this is the answer. Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. Well, the theory is, Carl, that everyone, a sane person wouldn't kill themselves, right? So if they kill themselves, then they've clearly got a mental health issue, you know. And I'm not saying it's bad, but that's my general take on it. You know, who's going to pay for it, Gary? Congratulations, mate. You are. You're the end user. You will be paying for the service in whatever way, shape, or form it pops up. It'll be you that pays for it. So another cost into licensed owners in WA. Yeah, that's it, man. So yeah, what happens if they take a farmer's firearms? I mean, there's other ways you can kill a sheep, just as the same as there's other ways you can kill yourself. So, I'm not sure out there. Wheat belt engineering and crane hire. I don't think they've thought of the repercussions. It's just how it is. And for the farm groups, these are the questions out there you need to ask yourself, boys. Like, you want to promote this and advocate for it, but for your members' safety, mental health, and true progression forward, you need to ask the hard questions under the smoke and mirrors and the magic of what it is. It's crazy, eh? Yeah, hey, g'day, John. Thanks, man. So a couple of other things. Look, I'm going to lighten the mood because it's been somber as fuck, because we've been talking about suicide and killing things. It's not cool, but conversations need to be had. We're all grown-ups. We need to have these conversations properly. This weekend, I'm out of shop jail for Saturday. So for anyone that's going to do a rundown and see me on Saturday, don't. Nah, the girls will be here and they'll look after you. But look, part of the Act Belong Commit Dark and Sheep Fest, putting wool back on the table. So not only do we advocate for firearms, we advocate for Sheep Fest in Darkin. Jump on board. Darkin's a little town. It's near where I grew up if you're not there. Jump on it. There's a whole lot of little family fun day out there. It's pretty cheap to get into. It's a gold coin entry, so it costs bugger all. It's a lot for the community there. It's a very small, tiny community. Best part of the world. It's paradise, I reckon. But things like these little town shows keep them going. It gives them something to look forward through the year. So, if you're doing nothing and you want to have a cruise down to, jump onto it. It's a real cool thing. We're going to have a little store down there. If you want to say g'day, if you want to talk about anything mental health orientated, come say g'day, because we'll be down there. So I'll be out there. It's all day Saturday. Well, it starts at 9, finishes at a bit after 9. The bars there. They're going to have skydivers. There's a big skydiving club down there, eh? It's pretty cool. They're going to be skydiving on the Oval and all of that sort of stuff. So that's going to be cool. We do also have. This is a gratuitous plug for Steelos. So Heidi's been busy on the trying to scrub up our YouTube channel and doing little mail outs on MailChimp, which is pretty cool for us. I don't know if there's another business in Narrogin. I'm going to blow my own horn. I don't know if there's another business in Narrogin that does this, right? So for the big city boys that got like 10 million staff and they've been doing this for ages, it's a cool thing for them. They just do it. Now I'll be back, Marty. But for us, it's actually a pretty cool thing. So a big step for us. So we've got this little Facebook competition. If you like and follow our Facebook page, which you probably are because you're watching this now, or if you're picking this up on a share, like and share our Facebook page. Like and follow. Subscribe to our mailing list on MailChimp. See how that works. And subscribe to our YouTube page where I do lots of crazy live things and some other reviews when I get time. Ends on the 28th of February. Jump through there and you'll win or jump through on that, and we're going to draw one lucky person to win a UHF 2-watt handheld UHF from our friends at Oricom. Bang. It's turning into like a little bit at the end there, like a game show. Do this, do that. You could win one of these. So, yeah, jump on board. There's also a bit of time. Just about lost my dongle. There's also a little bit of time left in the aiming thermal deal that's getting run at the moment from Naya. If you want any details about that, we've shared that on the page previously, or jump onto the phone. They are. Thanks, Zane. They're always. Jesus, see, you've lost my train of thought there. We have MailChimp done that. Now I've lost it. No. Ash, if you're on all three, mate, it's any followers on there, mate. So it's not just the new followers. If you've put up with my shit for the amount of time that you have, you should just about have one for starters, just for being there. But if you're any of our followers, so off the three platforms, we'll draw one out of the hat, and away we go. I was going to go down a line, then I can't remember what it was. I'm having deals from Naya. No, I've lost it. Absolutely lost it. I was talking about that, but yeah, I've lost it. Oh, they're about $1,000 off every unit, so pretty good going there. Great. How good's the cricket? I don't have time to watch the cricket, mate. Sorry, guys, I'll just about here.
I don't think you can have any carry on.
So, because it's Facebook Live, I'm not going to do the guns. I'm not going to do a knife today because I've absolutely bored you shitless with all of my speech. But how good's an origin tonight? It's a beautiful, balmy summer night, eh? The weather report and street view. The stars are out. It's clear. Snack Shack's going hard. It is for sale too. There's a business for sale there. Anyone that wants to make me tea every Thursday night, come down, buy Snack Shack so you can look after me. The pub's going hard, and it's a beautiful sunny night in paradise. Look at that. Some Barrett info. Yeah, I'll give you some Barrett info. Barrett was bought out by Naya in Australia. Australian company, Australian firearms company. This is why this sort of attack on gun owners is a shit thing, right? So we've got industries in Australia. Mr. Rob Nyer and his crew have bought a US-based firearms company. Pretty big fucking deal, eh? You know, all of these kicking of civilians along the way is a bit of a shit thing. So you know, here we go. Oh yeah, the date last week, Ash. Yeah, it was. Look, and we've been that flat out. I wanted to do something really cool, but it's actually been 9 years, mate. Would you believe? 9 years in the shop. 9 years in the shop jar, doing what we're doing out of Narrogin. So that was last week, the 2nd of February. We took on 9 years ago. A very fresh-faced young Steelo jumped into the shop, and he was full of ideas, and how we could do business and do things. And he's been kicked in the guts the whole fucking way. It's crazy. No, I do love it. Thank you out there for all your support. It was 9 years anniversary last week. We were going to do something big with it, but unfortunately we've just been absolutely belted this week with firearm stuff due to Mr. Papalia. So, you know, I'll get a birthday cake or something out there, but maybe for next week. Maybe we'll circle back. We'll do 9 years next week. But yeah, thanks for noticing for the guys out there. Thanks for property prices are great, Carl. Jump on board. No, I don't know, mate. It depends what you're looking for. Give us a ring if you think about real estate down this way. Give us a ring. The real estate agent is just conveniently just like there around the corner. Yeah, that's right. At least it's not funeral service. No, well, funeral service is where the money is. Everyone's dying to get in there, eh? Boom. There you go. Yeah, look, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for putting up with my bullshit tonight. It does mean a lot. There's a lot rambling around in my head, so we've got to get some of it out. If you do have any genuine questions, you know, because again, everyone wants to help. What you need to do, like and share everything that you see that you agree with out there. Keep it going. Have this conversation because it is a difficult conversation to have. Suicide rates are through the fucking roof. Will this help reduce suicide rates? That's the question you need to ask. If it doesn't, then why are we doing it? Why are we wasting time doing it if it doesn't? Is it going to reduce crime out there in the streets? If it doesn't, why are we doing it? You know? No, I'm squinting because of the light this time. See you guys. Yeah, I'm squinting because of the light. No, I'm good. So ask those questions. Like and share it. Talk to your friends about it. It is a big issue. Firearms owners, by and large, we've been quiet since '96 very well. We haven't put our head over the parapet, and we're just getting picked on, and we're sick of it. Basically, we're good people. We're doing the right thing. There's always we're not trying to undo anything, but they fucking are. So look through the smoke in the mirrors. The good thing is it's not legislation yet. It's a proposal. So talk to your friends about it. Have that discussion. Like and share the SSAAWA Facebook page. Jump on that. There's a lot of information on that. There is a really cool interview on it. You definitely want to play that back to yourself so you can hear it and hear why we're a bit upset. It seems like the police minister was a bit like, oh, we're just making this shit up as we go along. That's what it felt like, and that's what it sounded like. Jump on the WA Firearms Traders Association, WAFTA, WAFTA. And if you're a gun owner and a gun guy, make sure you're buying stuff at WAFTA shops. So who's WAFTA? These are the guys that are doing all the work in the back end to make sure that you guys can enjoy your stuff. It's not coming from the guys from the East Coast. They're not delivering you your product. They're not staying away from their family and staying awake at night trying to make sure you've still got an industry. So make sure you shop at your WAFTA shops. Give them a chance at least. They're out there everywhere. If they're not a WAFTA shop, ask them why they're not. Because when this is happening, they're the guys in the media. They're the guys talking to politicians for the benefit of everyone, for the industry. They're the guys that are talking to guys on the East Coast that are in the know, that are going to resource it all. So jump into it. Jump onto those guys. Jump on the WAFTA page. Share their stuff around. Get it legs. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean it honestly, because if the industry's not here, then you're going to have no hobby. The industry, you need to support the industry that's supporting you. Doesn't mean come in and buy 20 guns tomorrow, but if you do, I've got a cracking deal. Make sure you keep shooting. Put posts up if you're shooting. You know, if you're a shooter, if you're out there and you're shooting on the weekends with your wife and kids, or your boyfriend and kids, or boyfriend and whatever else, whatever other denomination you want to get into, put posts of it on there. Start flooding your social media feeds with firearms-related activities on the weekend, because at the moment we are being demonised over the last 2 years. Demonised like we are the root of all evil. It's not us, it's not families. We're not doing it. So jump into it, eh? Jump into it and share it around and start taking photos and hold your head high. We're not doing the wrong thing, but we keep getting kicked in the guts by the government, and it's not good enough. Absolutely not good enough. Yeah, Williams Fox Shoot, jump onto them as well. Jump onto Curbs. I just saw it. Love Williams Fox Shoot on your cars. Absolutely. I love Steelo on mine, but it's all right. Anyway, guys, look. Thanks for listening to my ramblings. It was a long one tonight, and I'm sorry it got out there and it dragged out, or if my mind track went a little bit better. But have fun. Have fun out there on the weekend. Have fun this weekend. We will see you. If I don't see you at... don't get me down that road. If we don't see you Darken at the Sheep Fest this weekend, we're going to see you somewhere else very soon. Probably back here on Thursday. If I'm allowed to, and I pass my mental health test. But have fun out there, guys. Honestly, that's all I got. I got nothing else. Like, share, jump onto the Facebook and the YouTube channel away we in. Thanks, guys. Catch ya.